Welcome to another edition of OK Boomer. This is Will.
And this is Thomas.
And we're at the virtual rack this week, paying tribute to the late, great Frank Thorne. And we're going to talk some Red Sonja right after I tell you a little bit from our sponsor, as you can think, Inked Marketing. The Inked Marketing team, if you are a comic book creator and you want to make sure to get your book funded from start to finish, contact the guys over at Inked Marketing and they will walk you through a precise formula to get you from point A to point B. And they are 100% guaranteed to get you funded. Right now, they don't have anybody that hasn't started with them. If you start after you launch, that doesn't count. That they haven't gotten through and got funded. Right now, we want to tell you about a Kickstarter that only has hours left. Like 48. And that is The Listener, When Winds Weep. It is still live on Kickstarter right now, but only for like another couple of days. The Listener series revolves around Addison, Addie for short. He's a Native American soldier loosely based on Leslie Tebow, the creator's uncle, a Native American veteran who fought and dealt with horrifying circumstances. Addie inherits the abilities of the listener. When his father dies, and it allows him to see the dead, as well as the other supernatural beings, it is a modern take on old stories, myths, religion, and campfire tales. Grab your copy today at inked.pub/The Listener, and here is just a peek of what the book looks like.
That was quick.
Well, yeah, see? That's what she told me. He's quick. Nestle quick.
Nestle quick. Oh.
So Frank Thorne passed away last week. And
Well, it was early this week, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was like Monday or something.
I can't. Oh, yeah, it was. It was earlier this week. And we covered Frank Thorne on the Seanzilla Art Show on Wednesday. Sean's actually doing his first ever Red Sonja piece. It's in the middle. You can check over on the playlist on Creators Outlet on YouTube, and you can watch the episode and see some cool stuff. Or you can look for Sean Howe, HOWE on Facebook. And he'll have posts up all over. He's always glad to accept a friend request. I don't think the original has been claimed yet, so you still have a chance to claim the original or pre-order signed prints when the piece is done.
Oh, that's cool.
When you goes, oh, I can claim it? Yeah. If you have money, you can claim it.
Yes. You can.
Yes. Artists don't work for free. He's always making art, and he's always selling stuff, and he's got an eBay store and an Etsy store, and sells stuff on Facebook and everything, and
take commissions and such.
Takes commissions, and every month he picks a character, and any commission of that character is 25% off.
Oh, sweet.
So
maybe I need to sign up just to listen. Get a good discount on something.
Yeah, well, and this is my favorite month. That's right. It's Joker month.
Oh, really?
So, and that includes any prints. So if you order any prints with the Joker on it, it could be Joker and like a slew of other characters or just him by himself. Any Joker print is 25% off. Any Joker original is 25% off. Any Joker commission, as long as you make the commission this month and get on the commission list for it, it's 25% off.
Well, damn, did you order you something?
I got something coming.
Do you? Sweet. Yeah, see, I haven't bought any original art in a while.
And this is a big one. It's an 11 by 17, so
Oh yeah, sweet.
painting. So it's like,
Oh, it was money.
so yeah, we'll talk about that after we go off the air. So right now we want to get into some Red Sonja, and of course I have my Art of Red Sonja book.
Yes.
This was actually a gift to me from my LCS on my birthday. I even still have the birthday card over here. Oh no, it's in here.
Birthday card.
And it was cool they gifted this to me for my birthday, because that same week I also had the hardcover, The Art of Brian Boland, and George Perez's hardcover, Storytellers. So
cool.
I think I spent like $600 that week at the comic shop.
Dude, Brian Boland and George Perez. That's two great tastes right there.
So two great tastes that taste great together.
Exactly. The thing that's funny, we talked about the Frank Thorne passed away earlier this week. We were going to do this Thursday, but something happened, so we pushed it back to this weekend. The thing that's funny is, I don't know if you read the news report, but like 6 hours after Frank passed away, his wife died, dude. That's really sucks. And they had been together for years.
Yeah.
And Frank had
that whole thing freaked me out, because May 31st, 2012, my uncle passed away at like 11:30 at night, and then 6 hours later my mother was dead.
Oh Lord, I'm sorry.
So I was like, did it have to be 6 hours? Really? Yeah. Usually when the husband dies, the wife usually lives on forever. Her mission is accomplished. She killed another man.
Come on now, it's not that bad.
Good Lord.
But the thing that's funny is like Frank had such an impact on this. Oh yeah. There you go. There's the Frank.
That's the only two Thorne pieces in this book. Although IDW, because they print up, IDW does a lot of printing and distribution of a lot of hardcovers for Marvel, DC, and many other publishers.
Yeah,
and they have the artist. They have the artist. IDW's got the artist proof from Dynamite, because Dynamite owns the licensing, obviously, for Red Sonja. And it's a nice big fat hardcover, but it's like the artist edition, like the big oversized.
Yeah.
And it's all of Frank Thorne's original pages from all the Red Sonja work he's done.
Well, see, and that's the thing that we were looking at originally when we were talking about this. We were going to do Red Sonja #1, which was a later story, and like I said, that was a later story, because Red Sonja, first she makes a brief appearance in Conan like 23 and 24. That's the first appearances of Red Sonja, and it's by Roy Thomas and Barry Windsor Smith, or Barry Smith back in the day. But the thing that's funny is, and that's why I don't understand how IDW really has the publishing rights for Red Sonja. I know Red Sonja.
Well, they don't. They were basically hired as a publishing house. Like, they were given everything to publish it for Dynamite.
Well, yeah, excuse me, Dynamite. Dynamite has the publishing rights to Red Sonja, not IDW. But the thing that gets me, because I got what IDW does now. They do that they're doing they just do a ton of them. But the thing that gets me is, I know Marvel kind of lost the rights to publish Red Sonja. I don't still understand that, because Red Sonja is like an amalgam of two characters by Robert E. Howard that was really smushed together to make one character. And, Roy Thomas, I bet you would. Roy Thomas made the character to go into the Conan books. Mm-hmm. So it's, this character really never came into existence as she is until you read Conan. Now, there's two female characters in Howard's stories that are really close to her. You know, the one sword woman and something else. I can't remember the two characters' names. I've read the stories. But it's basically, they're set in like 17th century France, you know, or it's later France. I think they're around with like Solomon Kane time, but they're smashed together here and you get a different character. So it's like that thing, you know, what happens if DC loses the publication rights and Superman goes into the public domain? You know, will Superman go in the public domain as he is in Action Comics? So anybody could, you know, theoretically publish a Superman book as long as it's Superman in Action Comics, it's in the public domain. But, you know, so he's only, you know, so strong, he can jump, he can't fly, you know, there's no kryptonite, you know, all this other stuff, because that's the stuff that DC added. And it's all that legal stuff really kind of gets to me. So I just don't understand sometimes how Red Sonja slipped away from Marvel. You know, that's, you know, too many lawyers. But
well, I'm surprised that Disney hasn't gone after Dynamite, because they like going after Dynamite. They've gone after Dynamite many times before. Dynamite had a great run, you know, a few multiple runs. The first run was amazing of the Lone Ranger. Really?
Actually, I think I remember that now, because, oh God, who was it that did the art on that? Oh, now I think I can see it in my head, but can't remember his name.
I can't remember right now, but if I take my headphones off, there's a box over there that I got a handful of them in.
Yeah. Is it Cassidy that did the art on the Red?
Yeah.
Lone Ranger? Cassidy did it. Yeah. So DC went after them.
He did a good portion of the art. No, what DC did, it goes, you know, DC went after him, and then what Marvel likes to do is they like to go after Dynamite, and they go like this, because Dynamite, all they do is go after, you know, open source material, and once they start writing it, nobody can take it away, unless, in the case of Disney, a big conglomerate makes a movie. Well, now they own the rights because they just produced the movie.
Yeah, so they have
that yanked. That made it so they could send their favorite cease and desist letters to Dynamite, and I don't know how long. I think it's like a 10-year window. So I think it's coming close to the time where they might be able to like go back and do something if another company hasn't already, you know, gone into it.
Are we still family friendly?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't understand that, because Dynamite did good Lone Ranger stuff, and the Lone Ranger movie that freaking Disney did was a piece of. You got me?
Yeah, I got you. It was a piece of shit.
Oh, see, I was trying not to go that far. It was terrible.
Well, it's not like I said fuck.
Then it had like the most overrated actor of all time, Johnny Depp, in it.
Yeah.
I mean, who gets paid $50 million or whatever craziest ass amount of money he gets to play the same character in every freaking movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's good in one movie.
And he gets to do it right after he's done like 9 lines of coke. So,
you know. But anyway, so I picked this issue because this is before the actual Red Sonja #1,
mm-hmm.
which come out, I think, in 77, and this come out in 75. I was going to do Marvel Feature Presents #1, which is the first issue with the Red Sonja, but I didn't realize until I looked that Marvel Feature #1 was written by Bruce Jones, and the art is by, I think it's Carmen Infante. I'm like, holy crap. So that's not the Red Sonja we're looking for. So we go.
No, we need Frank, because, you know.
Frank. And this is Frank's first work on the character that I could find, that I was familiar with. And, you know, he got so big doing this in the 70s that he used to go to like comic book conventions dressed as a wizard.
He was the wizard that used to be with Wendy Peeney when she was young, hot, and dressed as Red Sonja cosplaying.
Yeah, and he would go around as the wizard and freaking judge Red Sonja cosplay. That's it. I mean, hey, they are dreams. And if you work hard enough, you can get to them.
Well, hell, we've both seen those pictures of Wendy Pini back in the day.
Yes.
Good Lord. It was like, Jessica Rabbit before she got married.
Yeah, this is the the level that you'll all be held to. And I'm going to judge from here.
She filled out that armor.
All right, so our first issue, like I said, Marvel Feature 2 with Red Sonja, She-Devil with the Sword. We start off with a kick-ass cover. There's our heroine. And honestly, I think the opening page is better than the actual cover.
Because you can see more dead bodies.
Yeah, dead bodies. You can see the layout. I mean, it's just he really got into this. And it's actually a pretty simple story, and it was a pretty quick read, but it's cool. So, I mean, the gist of this one is Red Sonja comes upon this guy and beats him up somehow, or he's asleep, and she puts a snake on him. She tells him it's like the deadly, it's a deadly adder, haspin. It's a Hyrrakian asp, and if you wake up, move, it's going to bite you, and you'll die instantly. So just lay still, and that'll give me enough time to steal all your money, and then I'll be out of here, and then hopefully the snake will slide away and you won't die. And, of course, he's, all pissed off and such. And she steals the money, and then he's got a key that's made out of solid gold that she steals also. And she, kind of puts it in her, in her little puppies there to keep it safe. And it's like, I'll take this too. And the guy's mad, and she finally gets on the horse, and she says, it's just a garter snake, dumbass. And rides off. He gets so pissed off. But she takes off. And she just rides hard for the end. Now that she's got saddlebags full of money and a golden key, and she's gonna go get something to drink. The thing that kind of got me on this is, listen, he has Thorne's style is so amazing, and it reminds me of, and maybe you think I'm a little crazy, but to me he reminds me of early Kubrick work, like that kind of same scratchy long leg characters, little wild hair.
Yeah, I think Thorne's a lot wilder though.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that is. I mean, yeah, he was.
Like the base line work.
Yeah.
Maybe. Finished product, definitely not.
Yeah.
They're two completely different animals, but they're fantastic. I mean, I was buying like old Hawkman and the Atom issues to read because it was Joe Kubert. It was like old Joe Kubert work.
Yeah,
it was like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, he created the Silver Age Hawkman, didn't he? And all that.
And later on, I flipped him for good money. So
flipped him for good money. All right, so Red Sonja shows up at the inn where she encounters one of her old companions that has made it to this inn and then now is working as a bar wench. And she goes to talking to her, and she tells her that she's here, and she's looking for she's got the key and everything, and it's something to do with a guy named Balak. Well, anyway, the bar wench freaks out. It's like, don't talk of that, it's bad luck, everything else. And then the guy from outside comes in. He says, hey, somebody's stealing your horse. So she heads outside, and lo and behold, there's somebody on her horse. And she jumps on a fresh stallion and chases off after him. And of course, he swings at her and such, and then she ducks it. She's Red Sonja, and this old dude runs into a damn tree branch and cold cocks himself. When she comes back, she sees it's a kid who's also crippled. He's missing one of his legs from the knee down, and she kind of whatever takes her stuff and heads back. But by the time she gets back to the inn, she realizes somebody's come in and killed everyone in the inn.
Yeah.
I mean, just everybody, and it's it's terrible.
Yeah, slaughtered everybody. There's like blood spatter everywhere. It looks like a 30-gallon vat of tomato soup exploded.
Something. And her friend looked like she says somebody's made some kind of left me a warning. Is it spots? And she's like, I don't know. Maybe it's spots on a horse or something. Mm-hmm. She really doesn't know what's going on. But so she like freaks out after that, and then she gets back on the horse and she heads out where she encounters the cripple again, and he's like, he takes her back to his people, his village, whatever you want to call it. And she rushes in, and of course they're being attacked by some people, and she comes in like the hellraiser she is and saves them. And when she does, this was a really weird page. This is
I'm gonna put Sonja's head in the middle, and I'm gonna give her Medusa here, even though Medusa had wasn't really around then. I'm gonna give her Medusa here, and so I can use her hair to separate one panel into 4.
Yeah, and see, the thing is this is, the action all here is really good. You can see Sonja chopping this dude up. She's chopping this guy up. She's backhand all these guys. That's great. This whole middle part, this is something I don't think, and I've got most of the Red Sonja stuff, and I've read a lot of it by Thorne. I've even read some of the Gita that we'll bring up later, but I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before until the other day when I read this one. It's just it's odd. But I mean, I guess this is his early first encounter, so he's trying to figure out. But so comes to find out that the leader of these people she just saves is actually the father of the cripple. And this guy has got a real he hates women, just completely. Something's wrong with him. He thinks everybody, is just taking pity on him because he's a cripple and screaming at him. And Sonja gets mad at him, about chops him in pieces. And still he wanders off, and the guy's dad's like, hey, look, he's just really upset. Leave him alone. He'll be okay. Even that's another kind of weird, little weird scene. But what did you think of this when you were reading it? So her and the father are talking, and she's getting upset, and then she like lays down like she's gonna die. She just lays flat ass. Hey, leave me alone. And he walks off, and then she like rolls over. It's weird.
She had cramps.
Is it cramps? As long as you got an answer for it, I guess. But the father tells her, hey, look, maybe if you talk to my son, you can help straighten him out. So the next day she gets up, goes to talk to him, takes the key, and, of course, he's going on about, he could have any woman he wants. And he actually makes a move on Red Sonja and lays the smack down on her, gives her a big kiss. And she doesn't put up a whole lot of resist.
Because he's crippled, she feels bad for him. If he wasn't crippled and he did that, she would have got him from stem to stern.
Yeah, she would have killed him. That's it. So while he's out here, getting a life lesson and getting his first kiss with, one of the hottest women in the Iberian age, this guy comes back who's, like ranting and, looking for the sun, and falls down dead. And when he falls down, Red Sonja and the guy go rush back to the encampment, and when they get there, everybody's dead.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I got some breaking news. Hold on.
Oh Lord.
It's not good breaking news either. So.
Oh, what is it?
Marvin Hagler just died.
Oh my God. I'm getting tired of hearing about people dying.
Yeah, so am I. But
it's ugh. It's terrible. So they get back there, and of course she talks with Duncan a little bit, and he's all upset. And then when she's talking to him, she finally moves up to him because he's not saying anything or moving. When she gets up to him, he's been killed. But not only has he been killed, he's been run through with a freaking spear and stood up in front of her. And of course,
so they put the Crip on a pike and left him there.
Left him there as kind of like a warning to her, As
and,
she
and I can say Crip because I am one. So
is that what it is? So she gets upset and heads off, and she's like, I'm going to find whoever the hell's doing this, and I'm going to kill him. And so she heads off looking for him, whoever is doing this. Because he's killed everybody at the end. He's killed all of these people now. Then the next day he kills the, Duncan. And so she heads off looking for him. And then when she gets there, she gets to this watering hole. She's like tired and thirsty and stop and get some drink. When she does, dude, the water's poisoned. And as she keeps moving on, every place she goes, the water is poisoned. It's like whoever is after her, he's not only after her, he's in front of her.
Yeah, it's she's fighting like everybody at once, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, and it breaks her. Which I've read a good bit of Sonja. This is funny. I mean, I've never seen her. I mean, she literally starts. It's like she's hallucinating. She can't move. She has no food. Her damn horse dies. And she's finally at her wits' end. And we see it's the guy from the first of the issue. He comes up, and when he comes up, she passes out. He puts an actual like a coral snake on her, and it starts raining and drives the snake off. And he tells her that you didn't know who the hell you were messing with before, but I'm I think it's didn't he say it's the hunter was his name? Yeah. So I'm so and so the hunter, greatest hunter ever, tracker, and I'm tracked you down to kill you because you took all my money. And they get this big argument. He's wanting the key. The only thing he wants, pretty much, other than to kill her now, is the key. So he goes to reach into her bag where she tells him she's got the key. It's in her saddlebag. And when he does, he pulls his hand out real quick. And I kind of knew what had happened at that point. He makes a move to her to try and kill her, but literally falls dead before he has a chance. Because Sonja knew that the coral snake had, when it left her to get out of the damn rain, had crawled into her saddlebag. And his dumb butt didn't see it.
And he was the victim of his own trap.
Yep. And he died. And then she makes off with a fresh horse, water, all the money she had, and the money he had on him now, or whatever else he had on him.
Oh yeah.
And of course, we didn't do the next part of this story. Balak lives. I think I got the cover for us to look at, but I moved on to Red Sonja or Marvel feature number 7, which was the first Frank Thorne Conan. So not only we get Frank Thorne Red Sonja, we get Frank Thorne Conan.
No. We get everybody.
Yes, because as this story goes on into part two, that's right, people. This is a two-parter. Uh, Man, everybody's in this damn story. There's like
Conan, Cull, Red Sonja,
yeah,
Ballet. Who else?
Burl is in it. Burl the Spear Slayer is in it.
Oh yeah.
Uh, then you even
Um.
get a brief appearance by Thoth Amon.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this was actually really good. It was a good two-parter, which is funny because, like I said, I still wish they would do this. They don't do it. We talk about it all how long. You know, they have you buy this comic, and then at the end of it, hey, this is continued in Conan the Barbarian. So if you want to keep reading this story, pick it up there. But they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Battle of the Barbarians.
Yeah.
And I love this because I would have to read the other issue before it. I'm sure something happened, but I mean, this one opens just great. I mean, freaking Conan and Ballet are doing something. And Red Sonja just like rides through them, about tramples them on her damn horse. And she's like, get out of the way. Uh, make way. and, and what's funny is, Conan's like, oh, it's Red Sonja. Uh-oh. I think we lost William. Hmm. So yeah, Conan loses. Sees it's Red Sonja. You back?
Yeah, I'm back. My daughter snuck out of her room to go get a bowl of Reese's Pieces cereal, the
Oh,
Reese's Puff cereal, and she went to go back into her room, and she locked herself out.
oh Lord, yeah, there she is. She's moving around. I see her, like my youngins.
She's hiding now.
So Conan is like, Ballet's like, who the hell is that? And Conan tells her who it is, and she's like, the very first thing Ballet says is she's that Hyrcanian hussy. You know, how old school is that? You know, not whore, not whatever, hussy.
Mm-hmm.
And so while Conan's telling her what's going on, we get a little backstory here. So we find out that Red Sonja has been hired by the priest Corinthos. I can't say his name.
All right, you talk about this. I have to go help her for a second.
Oh, okay. So Red Sonja has been hired by a priest to actually go and get one of the pages of Skelos, and she's supposed to retrieve it from Conan or whoever's got it and return it to him for a reward. So she heads off to do that, but lo and behold, we find out that Conan, who's been kind of tricked to get the actual page himself, is getting it for another guy. And oh Lord, what was his name? I can't remember his name now. But this is a rival sorcerer that works for Thoth Amon, we find out, who is looking for the page to try and control the world. That's everything all the wizards do there. What's cool is, not only we find out he works for Thoth Amon and he worships, Set and all this, but in his little he's doing his little incantations here. We get a lot of Lovecraft, which I don't know how much of y'all read this. Lovecraft and Howard were actually pen pals, so they swapped fictional deities a lot, which I thought was really cool. So once the backstory's over there, we flash back and we've got Red Sonja and Ballet, who have given chase to, or not shooting Red Sonja, but Conan and Ballet have given chase to Red Sonja, who luckily makes it out of the way when a rock slide comes down and stops them. And Conan manages to save Ballet, but he tells her, hey, something's on. The little rock slide was a little too coincidental. And so they manage to get around the rock side and they give chase to Red Sonja again. And then they get to a fork in the road. Conan says, well, God, dude, we'll have to split up and find it. So he sends Ballet one way, and then he says, I'm going to take the other one. But what we find out as we read on is, Conan knows that Bolette is really pissed off at Red Sonja. She's been insulted by her. She knows that Conan and Red Sonja have a past together. Bolette at this time is Conan's lover, and she wants to kill her. So Conan, when he comes to the fork in the road, he sees the tracks, which Bolette, not being as adept at horsemanship and such as Conan is, doesn't see them. So when they split, Conan knows he's actually after Red Sonja, and Bolette's going to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
I did mention while you were away. Did you like the little Lovecraft stuff here?
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. So Conan gives chase after Red Sonja, who now we actually read about Red Sonja's origin, which I did not know. It was in Cullen the Barbarian's #3, where she is confronted by the spirit and praises, offers herself to the spirit for the the ability to be the ultimate swordsman and not to submit to any man unless he beats her in battle and all of that. And then we learn her story, how she has been hired by the priest at the Temple of Ibis to actually get the page of Skelos and return it to him, because when she returns it to him, he's of course going to use it to bring peace to the world or something. And
sure he is.
Yeah. Wait, look, we got to take him at his word for it. So she's like, no problem. Now, he also promises to give her a bunch of money. And he shows her the coffins in the crypt. He's like, oh, look at all the coffins. These are all the former priests of Ibis. And she's like, well, God, this priest temple's been here for thousands of years. Where's everybody else at? Then we find out that after so long, when somebody dies, you get a new person moves in. Then you take the old one out and put him in the catacombs. So there's a giant catacombs full of priests of Ibis, past priests of Ibis, all just stacked up in the corner. And while Red Sonja is talking to the priest about such, Conan actually manages to sneak in, and he's going to take the page from Red Sonja, from the page of the Scroll of Skelos. Mm-hmm. And of course, they get into a big fight about it because Sonja wants to get paid, Conan wants to get paid, and there's only one item that's going to get both of them paid. So here comes another big sword fight.
Well, what would one of these books be without multiple sword fights?
Hey, look, that's why it's Conan the Barbarian. It's Red Sonja. It's a sword fight. What's good about this is Conan's not going to give any quarter, and we discover that while Red Sonja is nowhere near as strong as Conan is, she's a lot faster and more agile. So she's managed to jump the hell out of the way and everything, and then she splashes damn oil on him. I just knew somebody's going to set him on fire here, and eventually he trips on the floor. When he falls down, she could stab him through, and he's like, hey, run me through. I'd kill you, but she lets him up. She's like, no, I'm not going to kill you like that. So when she lets him up, they get into a big fight again. And eventually Conan, just being a lot stronger, manages to actually wear her down. And, they move into the fight into the little catacombs, and there's a giant snake in there. Of course, you always got to have a giant snake in a barbarian comic book, which comes out. And, of course, they have to hack the snake up. And lo and behold, after they hack the snake up, during the fight, they see this through this hole in the ceiling at the temple, this giant bat creature fly in, Day of Heroes, Night of Death. And, Conan, of course, Holy Mitra. And Red Sonja worships Ishtar or something. But they don't
Ishtar,
know what
that was a terrible movie.
Ishtar. Yes, it was. Dang it. But this human bat hybrid monster comes in and goes after the page from the Scroll of Skelos. All right, now I did throw in some of our favorite Red Sonja covers, so that for those who haven't seen, these are our personal favorite. You may have others. Most of these are by Frank Thorne. There are a few that aren't, but most of them are. That dude may be
Yes.
one of my favorite covers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
She can stand on me anytime. I don't care.
Dude, it's an awesome cover. I think I put the picture of the Bruner one in here too. That's another awesome, Frank Thorne
Yeah,
cover.
that's just a famous Sonja pose.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's there's plenty of cleavage. The sword's out, and she's still in action. And I know.
Oh, the sword! I didn't even see the sword.
Exactly. Yeah, the sword right there. So there's that. This is actually this Conan 23. This is the first appearance of Red Sonja.
Nice.
Now, the thing about this issue is, the argument between Hulk 180 and 181.
Oh, between the cameo and and first full, yeah.
That's what this is. Red Sonja shows up at like the last page, and she's like, now you face Red Sonja or something. She's not even in the whole book, like last page.
Mm-hmm.
This is the big one that everybody wants. The Song of Red Sonja. She's in the whole book. Her and Conan, the whole story.
Pre-50, there's 4 big issues, and just after the first year, we had the first and second. It was a 2-part story, so it was basically, first appearance and second appearance. As far as the grading companies are concerned, but it was Elric and Elric's sword.
That's in 15 and 16, I think it is.
I thought it was 14 and 15, but
or maybe it's 14, 15. Yeah,
I think it's 14 and 15.
Okay, yeah. Well,
And that's BW Smith stuff. Those two are a big grail of mine because I'm a big Elric fan.
Really? I didn't know that. We've never talked about that. I love Elric. I read it when I was little, or high school, little if you want to call that, a long time ago. And dude, I loved Elric. It's just freaking amazing. But Elric is the anti-Conan, and that's what made him such a great thing in here. I didn't know you were a big Elric fan, so when we get to the end of the podcast, I'll throw in another tidbit for you that we can do in the future. But yeah, I got Conan the Barbarian, the original Marvel series. I have all of them. I got 1 to 275. I'm not missing any of them. I love that.
I have 1 through 9 of the trades.
1 through 9 of the trades. 3 is the real big one too. If you want to get down there past number 1, because 3 is real short print. So now we move on. This is from the Red Sonja second series. So this is 77, number 8. Her fighting another giant snake. Hey, didn't she just fight a giant snake? Damn it! There's another one. I told you, got to have them. Oh, I did include it.
Mm-hmm. But see, in 1977, I was too busy with Star Wars stuff.
Oh, is that what it was?
Not so much the comics. Even though I switched from buying Batman and Spider-Man every week to Star Wars, and running to the toy store to buy the big oversized Treasury editions.
I did not realize I had it in here. I was debating whether I would put it. This is probably like my second favorite Red Sonja cover. And this is by Bruner, though. This isn't by Thorne. But it goes so well with that other one that I showed you earlier.
Yeah, because this one just the background is just like the white and red line, and the other one was basically, we're leaving the blue line in the back and just colored like this one little section here.
Yeah, that's it. They're beautiful. And then I got your cover for the Art of Red Sonja, your cover from Dynamite. Yep, there's the actual hardcover. It's a big old thick book.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually had to look
when you
again.
open up that book, the first thing you see is that Alex Ross piece.
Sweet. Oh, yeah, I didn't know what Alex Ross did into Red Sonja.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And there's like, a cool history with like tattered pages and stuff in the beginning. So there's like, a forward that's like, a dozen or so pages. And it goes into Marvel Team Up 79 with Spider-Man and Red Sonja, and then it starts on the actual novelizations.
I've picked up Marvel Team Up 79. I have yet to read it. I hear it's one of they actually, I think they reprinted it recently because it's just supposed to be one of the best team ups they did.
And that Red Sonja piece was from the first Alex Ross did a variant cover. If you can, boom, see it right there.
Oh yeah, I see it.
My hands. Whoop, I'm touching her. Why am I touching her? Wrong hand. There we go.
You'll never be able to run for politics.
I'm really with Sleepy sniffed the children's hair Joe in office.
Damn it,
man! I could do anything.
Oh.
And there's some of these that like this is Steve Furchow. Some of them on the left side, they'll put the pencils in. So it'll just be the line work, the inked line work, and then the color on the other side. So you can see.
So you can see what the before and after looks like.
Yeah. It's like a lot of the Royal stuff. And I finally found my certificate of authenticity. I actually have a Louis Royal signature.
Oh, really?
From a statue that he did.
Cool.
It was a famous cover for heavy metal back in the day. I'm looking. Oh yeah, here's some of the stuff where they brought Red Sonja into the regular universe there.
Oh yeah.
She's fooling around with Spider-Man, I guess.
Well, Spider-Man has a thing for redheads.
Yeah, so do I. And I don't have any superpowers. You got some Adam Hughes.
Didn't know he did any Red Sonja. That's cool.
Dude, everybody's drawn Red Sonja.
Yeah, even your man Lindsay's in there, ain't he?
Man, Captain Cover.
Captain Cover.
Brandon Peterson. Here's a Frank Cho double page spread.
Yeah, Cho is awesome. Of course,
Cho wanted to trigger the snowflakes again, so he did another one of his insulting womanizing covers for Wonder Woman #1 again.
I saw it.
It's up on eBay now.
The Brazilian Wonder Woman.
Yeah, happy bidding.
It's so, the thing that's so wonderful about Cho, you're reading, you get the Linsner. Yeah, you get the ultra hot women, and then he always draws like the best monsters you can think of.
Yeah. Yeah, just good stuff. Some Delato pieces.
Oh, sweet. Delato's great.
Yeah, some more Delato. I was a little upset that there were only 2 Thorne pieces.
Yeah, because, it's...
Greg Horn.
Yeah. He traces.
Don't care.
The thing that's funny is that's what I'm saying. A book that...
Greg Land.
Oh, Greg Land. Yeah, I like Land. Or is it Land that traces, or is it Horn that traces?
They all trace. Come on.
Well, yeah, to a degree. It's only funny that a book that size, there's only 2 pictures by Frank Thorne in there, and Thorne put Red Sonja on the map.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think most of this is like from from recent history of Red Sonja.
Yeah.
Dynamite's like on its like fifth series or something with her. So
Yeah. Well, they've been doing all those cross-ups too, like Red
yeah,
Sonja and Vampirella and Red Sonja and
yeah,
so and so.
all the crossover stuff. Yeah.
They haven't done my Red Sonja and Betty Page yet, but maybe one day.
I found you a Betty Page in the Jungle action figure.
Oh, really?
I'll show it to you after the show. We got some Gene Ha, some J.G. Jones. J.G. Jones is suffering very badly with cancer right now.
Really?
So Dynamite is doing like an Indiegogo. I don't think they do Kickstarter. They do Indiegogo.
Yeah.
And they put a special J.G. Jones cover on a book, and all the money being raised
Goes to him.
All the profits from the book are going to him to help with medical expenses.
I don't think I may have. I think I'm thinking of the right person. Didn't Jones do? Was it? Remember, dude? It's been 20-something years ago. Was it Batman the Haikita with Wonder Woman?
Possibly. It sounds vaguely familiar.
All right, hold on. We got to I'm gonna have to look it up now.
Oh, here's some more Bruner.
Bruner is so good.
Yeah, that cover you showed didn't do him justice.
Dude, I love that cover.
You got some Billy Tan. More Billy Tan. The hell, 6 pages of Billy Tan. Who'd he pay? He must have kicked up to the guys in the office. We got some Chaykin.
Chaykin's great too.
I would show it, but I'm not friends with him.
You're still mad about that, huh?
He chewed me a second butthole for, not knowing what he's up to in the modern age. I'm like, man, I thought you died like 5 years ago. Don't get mad at me.
All right, share that one right there. That way we can see if that's the right one I'm talking about. Because if not, we have to do this one day.
Go ahead, blow it up. Can't see it. Yep, J.G. Jones.
You've read that, right?
I own it somewhere.
Okay.
And I only know that because recently I remember seeing like that cover. So I bought it. Whether I read it or not, I'm not sure. But I own it. Kaluta.
Yes. He's another great, a great female artist, if that means anything. He does so much stuff.
Is Kaluta female?
No, I'm talking about drawing women.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I don't know because I get fooled. It's like Steph Wilson. I'm like, how you doing, hon? You know I'm a dude, right? Oh fuck.
It's terrible.
Well, because I always see the profile picture and it's got like a pretty blonde and this dude. And Steph Wilson is the dude, and the pretty blonde is his
model or something.
No, it's his girlfriend / wife, and his girlfriend is also his colorist.
Oh, okay.
Carlos Raphael. More Carlos. Nice stuff. Andrea DeVita.
How many pages in that book?
A lot. I'm not even halfway through, and it's like I'm at 81. Here's a David Mack piece.
Mack. I like the one on the other side better.
Yeah, that's Cully Hamner.
I met him at a convention.
Have you?
Yep.
That's the end of the book.
I actually have a.
Literally.
I actually have a. Oh God, what do you want to? Sketch done by Cully Hammer of classic Nick Fury.
Oh, nice. 216 pages.
Good God.
And if you have to pay for it, it's a $30 hardcover.
Well, that's not terrible for 216 pages.
No, it's an art book. I can't pronounce that name, but it's pretty bloody. Steven Sadowski, and this is showing these 2 pages show goes from pencil to ink to color, and it is a fantastic piece in the snow.
Sweet. That is nice.
There's the pencils, and above it is this way, reverse angle. Son of a bitch.
Did the artist do all of it? Do coloring from pencil to the finish?
Yeah, because it doesn't look. If somebody else worked on it, whoa. My camera's drunk. Focus.
Yeah. That's the thing about those.
This is beautiful.
Those IDW artist proofs, when they show just the pencil work, depending on who comes back and does the inking over it, you can really tell a difference.
These are gorgeous. I like the one with the double panel a little better because it's like very artsy. Steven Segovia.
Yeah, the double panel's nicer on that one.
The other one would be cool, like if that was like a frame from an animated
story.
film. Yeah.
Yeah, she's moving through the tunnel or something.
Greg Ticini, Edgar Salivar, David Wenzel, David Michael Beck. There's just like Batista, not the rest of the artist.
So everybody that works in comics got about 50 cents royalties off that book.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because everybody's in there.
I'm surprised they didn't just put in the artists that were dead, so they didn't have to pay out. But
yeah, I like the one on the right better on that one too.
Oh, some Jim Ballant.
Cool.
How can you tell it's Jim Ballant? Because they've got 88 double D's. I actually found the like the 12-inch figures they did the 2-pack of Batman and Catwoman, the one that's done after the Jim Ballant version of Catwoman.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you never saw that? I got it behind me. I'll show it to you a little bit. And if you look over my shoulder, that's over there, that way, maybe if I turn the camera some, you can see my Mego Starship Enterprise playset from '77.
Damn it.
It's a little busted up. I gotta find a way to fix it. It needs like a couple of rivets in or something. I don't know what happened to it. We got some Sean Chen.
Yeah, all of those are, that's modern. All that's pretty much modern.
Nebs.
I recognize a lot of those covers.
Everything on these 2 pages is all Nebs. Hams.
See, and that's the whole thing with a character like Red Sonja. I mean, she works really great, and a lot of people like to. I'm not so terrible, but a lot of people like to.
One you like on the right too, Prado.
Yeah, Prado's great.
The flames exploding behind her is just like.
But it's not the same. I don't want to say the writing dipped off, but a lot of it did, to me.
Yeah.
I got into an argument with somebody one time that I can't remember who it was, but somebody had supposedly done a new series for Dynamite with Red Sonja that was the series to read.
And it sucked.
It's like, whatever, yeah.
Mel Ruby.
Good Lord, look at them abs. Get like grade cheese on them.
Yeah, because just that's just what I want on top of bottom of a woman. More cheese.
Is it sharp cheddar or just regular? Soft. Go with the soft cheese.
Extra sharp.
Damn it.
Just like her sword. Who's this by? That's another Mel Ruby double page spread.
Oh, and that was nice with the like monster thing over on the side.
Yeah. Ruby. Man, it's like 16 pages of Ruby. He must have been like the current Sonja artist
At the time.
at the time, because he doesn't just get like a few pages. Still Ruby. Still Ruby. Still Ruby. Oh, Jackson Hubert.
I think her bikini's getting smaller the farther you're going in the book.
And you're complaining why? Joyce Chin. Oh, whoa. Okay, the one that's going to be on the right. There's one she's putting a helmet on. Not that one, but the other one is Ken Kelly, and the one with the helmet is Kevin Nolan.
Cool.
I like the one without the helmet.
Yeah. Ken Kelly is great. Dude, he did some incredible Conan covers back in the day.
Well, not just that, but she's got big 80s hair now.
Yeah.
So Luke Ross.
We ever go back to do any more Savage Sword of Conan after I made you read that like 55-page book?
Oh, good Lord. At least now I have the tablet so I can like kick back in the chair and relax.
That's nice, isn't it?
Oh, hell yeah. Liam Sharp. The one with the sword held up in front of her is Marat Michaels, and the other one where she's wounded is Mike Mayhew.
I like the Mayhew.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see them. I like to see the characters in action more than just a pose, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, a lot of this stuff is like pinup work,
Yeah.
I got to turn this sideways to read it. Oh, this is Pablo Marcus. This is a great fight scene.
Oh, cool. Yeah, she's fighting like everybody.
Yeah, and she's teamed up with like another barbarian on the other side, not Conan. Hello, not Conan. More Pablo Marcus. He's really good. But I mean, yeah, because then there's the solo page you can see. I mean, her delts are popping out, her biceps are popping out. Of course, her boobs are popping out, and her abs have gotten even more defined. It's like she's in the middle of like doing 100 crunches or something.
How do you keep those abs in the Iberian age?
Well, you do your damnedest to stay alive.
It's like I was watching a documentary on Tudor England. She's probably got the same. She's got the same diet that those people did: beer and bread.
There's one where she's in action. She's like in mid-air with the sword over her head.
Yeah.
And her legs open. Red Sonja 40 by Patrick Birkencotter.
Yeah. See, that one's okay.
I just like the pose because it's finally something different. Rudy Nebris. And the Rudy Nebris one was he actually signed it, like for real. So he probably signed an actual, you know, the actual piece that they had on file to somebody. And then the other one is cool just because she killed the dragon.
Yeah.
I like the dragon one, but these are most of this is just like all pinup work. Some Ron Adrian. Oh, Stefan Sedgwick, whose name that I can never pronounce, but he does like amazing work.
Yeah. I like the one on the left. Far to the left one.
Tom Cooker. Some Will Conrad work.
Huh. See, now this makes me want to go look. I know a lot of that's pin-up stuff, so it may not even made it to a book, but I wonder how many issues of Red Sonja they have. Because if you look at the Marvel stuff, dude, they did three series of Red Sonja. She's in Marvel Feature 1 through 7. She's in Red Sonja like 1 through 15. And then they did another Red Sonja that I don't think went like 12 issues.
Mm-hmm. There's like multiple miniseries. Like the page that has the 2 images on it are both by Jim Lee, and it's from Red Sonja and the Claw 3 and 4.
Oh, sweet. Whose head is she holding up?
Not mine. That's Richard Ivanhoe. We're almost done. See, now you won't have to go buy the book because you already looked at it.
I've already looked at it.
The one with the spear is Cedric again, and the other one is Perillo.
Oh, the Cedric is nice.
Mm-hmm. The Perillo likes doing all this stuff darker. I guess that way, if you screw up, you can't really see it as much. I do love his work, and both of these are Perillos.
Yeah, I like the action scenes.
I've got a 9.8 of his Virgin variant of Vampirella versus the Reanimator #1. Signed.
The Reanimator.
Oh, you gotta read it. It was good.
Really?
And, yeah, and it was basic. It was black, white, and red. So it was like black and white with just like the red highlights.
Dang it.
And here's a couple more Perillos. The end.
Yep.
That's Ross.
Of course.
You start with, her boobs and sword in the front, and you end with her butt in the back. Why, thank you, Pops. I do feel kind of pretty today. Oh, Red Sonja, you mean. Never mind. Grumpy old codger, you.
Yeah. That's what happens when we get old.
Yep, exactly.
All right, I put the book back up there.
Oh, so you did. There it is.
Yep. What's funny on this one is, like I said, we got to this, and when I looked at it, at 68, and I saw King Cole, I'm like, damn it, did I miss something? And then down at the little bottom, you see, hey, once in a lifetime, featuring Red Sonja and Bulette. What's funny, like I said, we've transitioned from Thorne in this issue to the cover on here is by Gil Kane, who is one of the legends himself.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the greatest Conan artist. He's not terrible, but The thing
No,
is
he's a very good artist, though.
Oh yeah, he's a great artist. I just don't think he's the greatest Conan artist. He may be the greatest Spider-Man artist. People are going to argue, whether it's Ditko or McFarlane or Ramita or whatever, but Gil Kane's got to be in there. I mean, he's got to be in that discussion. Same thing with freaking Green Lantern. But the interior work is actually by the greatest Conan artist, John Buscema.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no one that comes close. I mean, he drew Conan for like 25 years. And part of that's because he just hated superheroes, which is still amazing that he hated superheroes and is such a superhero artist. But
well, yeah. it's because you spend like 7 days a week drawing superheroes. You're like, I am so sick of this superhero shit.
Well,
give me some guys with weapons to just kill each other.
And I actually read somewhere it wasn't so much that he hated superheroes, is that he hated drawing buildings. And when you drew superheroes, you had to draw all the buildings all the time. So in New York,
I got to draw backgrounds. Fuck this shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, you draw Conan, half of Conan's in the damn desert. What is the desert? Oh, it's freaking, there's a couple hills. Oh, what is it? It's sand dunes. All right, let's roll with it, buddy. But this story picks up right where the last issue left off. So here's, of course, now we're not doing, she was going, Ishtar, and he was, Mitra before, and now it's, Crumb and Mitra, and she's Taram's blood as the bat human hybrid monster flies in and attacks the priest of Ibis. Of course, Conan tries to drive him off, and his sword passes through the guy's body. And of course, after the sword passes through, the bat monster just knocks Conan down, and then Red Sonja's like, "Well, I'm going to do it too," because obviously my sword's better than his, and it passes through. And I love how it says here, he says, "Yeah, does the flying creature, the half-human predator, doesn't have a respect for the sexes either, so he just knocks the hell out of Red Sonja too." And steals the page and flies off. But before he leaves, the priest stops him and he's like, "Hey, come back here. Let's do something. I'm going to cast a spell to protect you and help you make sure that you can get the guy, and you'll ride on your horses and you'll catch up to him." So he does a magic spell, and then they give a little, thing here where Conan's like, is he really a priest? Is he a magician? Is he a charlatan? What is he? At least he believes. And he pulls this red flaming jewel out of his hand, and he gives it to Conan. And he tells Conan, he's here, take this. And Conan asks him, "What am I going to do with it?" And he says, "Well, you'll know what to do with it when the time comes." So Conan's like, "All right." So 5 o'clock shadow Conan here heads off with the horse and Red Sonja in tow after the bat creature. And then we get a brief overview in case you missed the last issue, which we didn't. We just read it, people. And so they're heading off. And what's funny is Conan and Red Sonja are giving each other high fives here. Hey, we've always been a great team, and we fight well together, and everything's good. Mm-hmm. And there's Paulette, who's been listening, who gets mad, and she's like, it's great that y'all are all so cozy and everything, but I'd rather, beat somebody's ass or find this. And Conan is like, "Hey, you know how I talk, woman, leave it alone." And then later on, Red Sonja, Bulette and Red Sonja get into it again. They're going to stab each other, but they kind of make up toward the end of the book. And once they realize what's going on, they're like, "Well, there's the beast. We can still see it. It's low," and they head off after it. There is a little funny thing here, because Conan and Red Sonja think that the actual priest has cast a spell on the creature and he's making him fly really slow. But Bulette says, "No, he's cast a spell on us. We're able to move faster than everything around us while it seems slower," which is kind of cool. And as they head off, they encounter these some guards that come out of a castle in the distance, and they're like, "Hey, come with us." And of course, they Red Sonja and Conan get mad, and they beat the hell out of each other. These guards, and then they get taken into this castle and brought before King Kull, the king of Atlantis. But Conan tells everybody, he's like, "Hey, whoa," or not Atlantis, King Kull of Volusia. He's from Atlantis. That Kull died, ages ago, before the Hyberian Age. He's dead. And they get up there and they're like, "Well, hell, somebody's dead." There's Burl. He's in the stories. I have to find you a link. There's a really good King Kull story with the Spear Slayer in it. Actually, a Howard story that's really, really good, where he's like the main character with Kull. He kind of saves Kull's butt in the story. So they get into a big argument, and Kull and Conan give a little stare down, and they're going to get into it. And here comes this wild pick who's like, no, he's obviously from Thulsa Doom, and he's evil, and you need to go ahead and kill him. And they go raising. So Kull decides, hey, maybe he's right. So he gets up and he attacks. He challenges Conan, and they get into a big fight, which goes on for 2 or 3 pages. And you see our heroes that are mistakenly fighting each other are pretty evenly matched. Conan and Kull are fighting left and right. And this is where Sonja and Bolette make up, because they're like talking about, they've got their swords ready in case the guards jump in. And Red Sonja actually tells Bolette, she's like, "Hey, we're not rivals. I've fought with Conan before. He's my friend. He's been my foe. But we've been together a bunch of times before." And then she just lays the hammer down and lets Bolette know, not he or anyone else has ever slept with me. So we know that Sonja's still a virgin at this point in the story. Which that's the whole point. That's like the link of her powers. So
yeah, how does she still have powers? Because now, she's like she was in Cerebus.
Yeah. Well, that's different.
Let's go back in the bushes again.
Yeah, maybe now, but that's a different character. So Conan and Kull fight until he whacks him on the helmet, and Kull says, "I'll put the red gem that's gone. If it was there, it would have stopped it." And lo and behold, Conan pulls out the red ruby that the priest gives him, and it's the actual missing gemstone from Kull's crown. And
I think the priest was expecting Conan to be this, and then shatter it in front of him.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. Or the other guy was. And instead, Conan just gives it to him. He's like, "Well, here." So he gives it to him. And when he puts the red ruby back into his crown, like a mist goes away, and we realize that the actual, old Gonar here, the priest, is not who he appears to be.
It's the creature from earlier in the story.
Yeah, it's the
prior issue. Yeah.
Yeah, the wizard guy, who's working for Thothamon trying to get the page. Of course, he throws a brazier at him and then hauls ass up the stairs, and Conan and Kull take off. And that's where we learn the whole story. He's planning on using the secrets from the one page of the scroll to, or the Book of Skelos. He's going to use the one page to take over the world and be the master of it, and not Thothamon. And he can even throw fire from his hands and all this other stuff. But when he says that, somehow Thothamon hears him from a distance, and literally just takes his powers away from him. He's like, "So let it be." And the guy still, he's the wizard tells him, he's, "I'm not without my own power." She's going to make a way for it. So he goes to turn it into the beast, and Conan quickly grabs a bow and arrow from a standing soldier and manages to shoot the ape monster who falls to his death. But when he lands, the page actually erupts into flame. And of course, they hightail it out of the castle. And when they get to the bottom, they see it disappear back into the horizon or wherever it come from. And they head back and inform the priest of Ibis that the page of Skelos has been destroyed and nobody can get it. And they kind of part ways after that. Red Sonja goes on about her way, and then Conan and Balette go off for, this is issue 68, so they go off for another 32 issues until the death of Balette.
Yeah, and the first time I read any Balette was at the beginning of the new Marvel run after they got the license back from Dark Horse.
Yeah.
And they did that Balette miniseries. I'm like, this is so good. And I'm like, oh man, they killed her.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I think if I have to go back and look, but I think she actually dies in the original story, Queen of the Black Coast. I'd have to look.
Yeah, I think she does.
It's been so long since I've read it, I can't remember. I've got them all around here. It's just reading it. But that, and I know it sounds terrible because I love Robert E. Howard. That's what, I love Conan, the Red Sonja character, which is actually made by Roy Thomas and all them. But one day we'll have to do probably my favorite Robert E. Howard story of all time is Worms of the Earth. And it's a Bran McMahon story. But it's a great story. All right. Now, this is not Red Sonja, but for all intents and purposes, this is the adult Red Sonja. Gita of Alazar. This was Frank's stuff after he left doing regular work. I've only got the covers here so you can see the style. It's a little wilder, but it's pretty much, Red Sonja, but it says adults only for a reason. There's plenty of nudity in these books. Yeah, they're pretty popular. They're hard to get, especially the early issues. The first prints, you can buy reprints now, but yeah, it's kind of like Red Sonja without the red hair and, a little different armor, but there's a lot of nudity and sex in these. It's kind of weird. I can't remember how much actual superhero work or other mainstream work he did after the Red Sonja stuff. I don't think it was a lot. I'd have to go back and look. And then we did talk about it earlier. I did put a page in for you to let you know what we can do next week to keep the Red Sonja trend going, and read about Red Sophia, which shows up in Cerebus number 3.
Oh, Serbius.
Yeah, Serbius. Yeah, Serbius number 3. Red Sophia.
I'm down.
Yeah, this damn stuff is so funny. It's amazing. But yeah, I'll get that.
That's just crazy too.
That's just crazy.
It's just
see, that's the thing with you and the Elric stuff. He parodies the first like 20 something issues of Cerebus. He parodies the first 20 something issues of Conan. Okay, so there's an Elric in Cerebus. There's a Elric parody. There's a Bran McMahon parody. There's a Red Sonja parody. It's just it's everything that's in there. It's really funny.
Well, it should be fun.
Yep. Yeah, I'll get that to you. So overall, what you think of these, man? Did you like them?
I loved them.
Did you? Cool.
I think I missed an issue though, but we covered it tonight. So,
which one did you miss?
I was like, wow, this story is different. I don't know why, we're not reading the whole thing. Uh, Not the last issue, but the issue before the last. So apparently you put 3 issues in the folder, and I read the first and third.
So you missed.
Because I'm like, I go, where did I leave off? And I open up the thing again, and it's all these squares. I'm like, it's like comic book Hollywood squares, and I'm like, no, that's the cover for the one. So no, I did that, and I just appeared there, and I went back one page. I go, I don't remember reading that. Okay,
So this is what you missed this issue then, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I put this one in because, like I said, it was the first part of that story. And like I said, we get our first Frank Thorne Conan.
Mm-hmm. Did you read it all? Nope, but I got the gist of it.
Yeah, I read it all. That's still my favorite cover. I mean, that just.
Well, it's tough because once in a while, I'm busy trying to get everything settled over here, and I'm doing everything myself. So I'm like shifting boxes around. It's like one of those puzzles we had in the 70s where it'd be like one open square and you have all the rest, and you have to like move everything around until you get the picture.
Oh, dude, I know. I sent you a picture of what I was doing earlier. So yeah, we're moving all them boxes around.
I got, all these full half cases of figures.
Yeah.
Because it's like 2 of these boxes in like a bigger box is like what they consider a case. So I moved them. I got like 15 of them.
Damn it.
Some of them like are regular action figures. Some of them are specialty. Well, they're all specialty because they all got, they all came through Diamond. And then, there's a few boxes of, the famous covers, and I'm just like, oh my God, I got so much stuff.
Yeah, I saw you put about 20 different figures online the other day. The Huntress figure was nice.
I put up like I think my cousin is buying like 2 or 3.
Excuse me.
The guy from Inked Marketing bought 2. He bought a Wonder Woman and something else. Whatever it was, I already pulled him and put him aside. He bought an Iron Man from Marvel Legends Series 1 off me the first week I did a live sale.
Yeah.
And he paid for the ship, and I never shipped it. It's still sitting there. I go, oh well, hey, look at the bright side. Combined shipping.
Damn it.
So I'm just like, oh, craziness.
All right.
And I'm
I'll let you.
Well, you said you were going to show your books. You want to do that off the air?
Oh yeah, I'll show you off there, and we can do that, and then we'll head off, and then come back next week. I got to go to bed. And then you got guests too.
Yeah, I got my little one here, who's not so little. Her head's like up to my chin now, so I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm gonna just stop, banging her head into the ground. I'm like, we got to put you through the floor a little bit because you're too tall. So. And
then we'll be back next week with Cerebus number 3, the first Red Sophia.
Yep. We're just going to keep finding different redheaded females to review, and we're gonna change it from okay Boomer to welcome to the Ginger Love Show.
Ginger Love Show. We'll make it to Velma shortly.
Yep. Okay, so until next week.